Hi, it's Caitlin. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about to-do list rollover. This is when you have a real lot of tasks on your to-do list and you get a couple done, but most of them just end up getting copied over into tomorrow and you already have a couple things ready for tomorrow. So this just snowballs and gets bigger and bigger every day. Now it's great to put one or two things on your to-do list that you know that hopefully everything works out really good, you'll get them done, but also it's very possible that they won't get done. I like to do this. I think it pushes me to get a little bit more done every day. What you don't want to do is dump your whole week's to-do list into today's do list, thinking that you will somehow magically get 30 hours worth of work done just today. The single thing that improves productivity the most is self-awareness. So one, you have to have a realistic idea of how much you can get done in a day. And two, when you're wrong, you want to recognize it, figure out why it happened, and what you can change in the future so it doesn't happen again. So what's even the problem with being ambitious and putting a real lot of things in your to-do list for today? The biggest problem is that your to-do list for today becomes meaningless. From a motivation standpoint, you are essentially saying that you are not going to get all of these things done. So you might actually end up accomplishing less opposed to if you just put in what really had to get done today and then push yourself to finish all of those things. And from a prioritization standpoint, your priorities get completely lost if you just dump everything in today's to-do list. Basically, each time you check your to-do list, you're going to be reevaluating what your top priorities should be. So for one, that's overhead. Because deciding your top priorities, I think, is an activity you should do just once a day, unless something drastic happens to upset your priorities. Like yesterday, my kitchen sink broke, so that changed my priorities for yesterday as well as today. And second, with prioritization, you're giving yourself that many more opportunities to pick a different task rather than the one thing you really need to be doing. So how can we do better? I'm assuming you have a system where you have one large or maybe multiple large to-do lists, and then a smaller one that's for today. If your system doesn't roughly map to something like that, then I might recommend really taking a hard look and evaluating if your system is something that's working out for you. That is my system. I have a big month to-do list for everything I hope to accomplish in a month. I put those into weeks, and then I put the tasks from the week into specific days when I'm actually executing on that plan, a new to-do list each day for the day. So first thing, you need a system for organizing your tasks. If you're curious about all the different systems that exist out there and how they work, subscribe to the channel because that is exactly what I love talking about. The second thing you need is you need to have a good idea of how much you can reasonably accomplish in a day. One way this is easier is to take it to the next level of granularity. So rather than just a whole list for everything you want to do today, actually say what times you're going to do everything. Then you'll probably see this big task is going to take the whole morning. These other two are going to fill most of the afternoon. Maybe I can fit one or two other things in here, but not more than that is going to happen. And then stop yourself from the temptation to put like 10 more other things in there from your week's to-do list, hoping you'll get them done today. Remember, if you magically get everything done off your list for today and still have time and still have energy, you can always go back to the week list then and pick something to do, or to tomorrow's list and get a head start on something. Or perhaps a more likely scenario, if you get blocked on a big task you really wanted to get done today, then you can do a quick reevaluation and pick something else to do from the week list or tomorrow's list. So last section, how do we fix this when it happens? As soon as you realize that you're copying over more than one or two tasks from today into tomorrow, or you notice that tomorrow's list is just way too long, what you need to do is recognize that a daily to-do list with more on it than you could ever possibly physically get done is not a good daily to-do list. One small thing you can do is that when a task for today doesn't get done today, rather than automatically just putting it in tomorrow, put it back in your week to-do list to be reevaluated and reprioritized. But in my experience, to-do list rollover and a to-do list that's just snowballing, getting longer and longer, happens when I'm trying to do too much. And this happens somewhat often. I have a lot going on. A lot of it has deadlines that affect other people, even people I love. So it doesn't seem like there's any flaw in my logic when I tell myself I have to do this and I have to do that and I also have to do this other thing. But there is a flaw in my logic when I tell myself I have to do these 30 hours worth of things in 24 hours. That is literally impossible, and of course I don't have to do something that's impossible. It's kind of a blunt metaphor, but if I wanted to heat up 2 liters of soup and all I have is one 1-liter pot and I really want to do this really fast, I would tell myself that's just not possible. Here are my options. Specifically, I can take more time or I can eat less soup. Coming back to tasks rather than soup, now if I was spending half my day watching TV, then a good option would be to cut back there to find more time to do my tasks that are important to me. But if you've already cut out stuff like that, then your options are to cut back on what you do, delegate, which doesn't have to mean like an assistant. It could just mean asking help from the people around you. or to push out your deadlines and get things done later. Those are the tools you have. So the only question left is, are you going to choose which one you do, or are you going to keep trying to do the impossible and let the world decide for you?